Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished Newcastle United 5, Aston Villa 1. And I have to say, this was the first Premier League match that I've watched from start to finish. And I think I picked the right game to watch because Manchester City's win over Burnley was depressing. Arsenal's win over Nottingham Forest was great, but it was just too early in the morning for me. And of course, it was overshadowed by the World Cup games. But this one I thought was really excellent to watch and I was intrigued by it because it's two teams that are sort of in that conversation for European spots. I mean, Aston Villa spent quite a bit of money this summer to try to close the gap on the top six. Newcastle obviously are in the Champions League, and they've had an understated transfer window. And I didn't make this prediction because I didn't do Newcastle as a separate show, but I predict that Newcastle will finish third. They will finish top three, and I feel based on this, I feel very confident about my prediction. Actually, it's just one game, but I do feel confident about my prediction. I feel Newcastle are going to be dark horses in that Premier League title race because I think because when you look at the team, they definitely have a better midfield and strike force. They have a better strike force than Arsenal, and they have a better midfield and strike force than Manchester United. So defense also is not too bad. So I think they can be somewhere in that conversation for top. Definitely will finish top four. And they'll be in the conversation for the title challenge, I feel. And financially, I mean, Newcastle United are really the only team that can compete consistently with Manchester City in the medium term. So I do believe that at some point in the near future we will see Newcastle United challenging for the Premier League title, but it may not happen this season. But nonetheless, I feel that it's important to point out. But coming to this game itself, I mean, the first 15 minutes were just brilliant, and it's frenetic. Frantic, frenetic football. When the opening goal comes from Tonali, it was a day for debutants as well, by the way. There were so many good debut performances. Tonali was one of the best performers on the pitch there. Gets the opening goal. It's poor defending from Leon Bailey. It has to be said. He should be doing much better than that. But once the cross comes in from Gordon, it's a great finish from Tonali. Really, the anticipation, the awareness to get in there. It's a good goal. A lot of expectations on him, of course, this season. It's a step up to go from Milan to Newcastle. Not in terms of prestige, but probably the fact that at Milan he did well, but the Premier League it's much more relentless. And the level is a bit higher. But definitely he could be a good player and a good signing for Newcastle. That midfield is awesome, by the way, for Newcastle. I mean, Tonali, Joelinton, Guimaraes is just an excellent midfield. But it was brilliant, that first goal. And then Aston Villa hit straight back. They didn't take it. There was time when they were in the game. Diaby, another debutant for Aston Villa this time, scoring. Again, poor defending from Newcastle. There was a few moments of poor defending across the game from Newcastle, and that's something that they will need to look at if they're going to consistently keep this level up. But that goal was a good goal, and they made it 1-1. At that point, you thought, right, we've got a proper contest on our hands. We've got a real game. And then it became 2-1. And that again, Tonali was involved. He puts up, it's a good free kick in from Trippier, and Tonali kind of just guides the ball towards Isak, and Isak makes it 2-1. And at that point, I didn't think Newcastle were necessarily the better team. I think, even after that second goal, Villa had some very good opportunities. They were very promising. The injury to Mings, unfortunate as it was, I think it opened the door for them to really regain the momentum because it broke Newcastle's momentum a bit and it gave them the opportunity to really go up, but they just didn't make it count. There were a couple of chances. Watkins probably should have made it 2-2. He didn't take it. So we go in at 2-1. And then the second half was just all Newcastle. I think the third goal, in the manner that it was in which it was considered, I think that completely broke Villa's spirit. It's a poor error from Konsa because he's under no pressure. He's got the ball and he's got the control of it, and then suddenly he just loses it. Maybe he wasn't expecting the pressure to be as much as it was, but once it comes out to once Isak wins it, he's just like chip. That's a brilliant chip, and he's got that in his lock. He's got that sublime, exquisite skill in his lock, and he showed that there. Good finish, makes it 3-1. And before that, should Martinez have got a red card? I mean, everybody's saying he shouldn't have got a red card and yellow is fair. I don't think it matters in the end, and probably okay not to give him a red card because otherwise Villa would have been in deep trouble. But I've seen those given for red cards, so I think he can consider himself a little bit lucky that he didn't get a red card. But nonetheless, that aside, 3-1 in the second half, and then the substitutions come on. You think maybe the level will drop, but it doesn't. Harvey Barnes, another debutant, steps up, puts on a stellar show. Gets an assist for Callum Wilson's goal. It's just poor defending throughout, and like I said, the spirit was broken for Villa after that. The fourth and fifth goals were just basically Villa giving up, and then of course Barnes made it 5-1. Another good finish for him, a goal and assist for him. Just good all-round performance from Newcastle. Now, will they be able to keep this up when the Champions League kicks in and they have to divide their attention between the two competitions? I'm not sure. That's where I think the squad depth comes in. I think they still need maybe another piece or two in that to really challenge for. If the goal is to challenge for the title, they might be a little bit short on the squad front, but there's no denying that first 11 is really, really good. It is very well stacked. And that first 11 will be a handful for a lot of teams. The question is, how often will that first 11 be able to play across this season, especially in the Premier League? I think that is what will define where Newcastle finish. But nonetheless, a good performance against a team that had a lot of hype coming into this game, and they pretty much swatted them aside like they were nothing. And that will give them a lot of confidence, a lot of belief, and they're now top of the league, if I'm not mistaken. So that's always good. The longer you can give City on the top of the league, the better it is, for the league. But yeah, it's a good performance from them, good performance and a good win. From Newcastle, or from Aston Villa's point of view, I think for them this season, I mean, I don't think they're the squad ready to compete on the Conference League front and the Premier League front. And now they've already lost Buendia to ACL injury. They lost Mings for a little bit of time as well. They won't have him for some time based on the injury that he got. So the squad is already starting to have issues. If I was Emery, my goal would be get 40 points as quickly as possible, secure Premier League status, and then go hard at the Conference League, like pretty much what what West Ham did last season. I mean, they didn't secure Premier League status until later, but they basically pretty much tried to go as far as tried to make the Conference League sort of the priority. The Conference League is a little bit easier, so I think they should have the squad to get through these group stages. And then once they were in the knockout stages, they tried to rotate as much as they could. But once they secure Premier League status, they just focus entirely on the Conference League. And I think Villa will do that as well, because you win the Conference League, you're in the Europa League. And I don't think they're going to finish in the Champions League spots based on that performance. So you might as well try and win the trophy rather than trying to finish 5th or 6th, and ignoring that. So that would be my suggestion, but we'll see what Emery does and what Villa do. It's just one game. You don't need to read too much into it. Villa are not going to be relegation candidates just because they lost a game. They're not suddenly a bad team. It's just, it happens, right? And Newcastle are not going to win the Premier League title just because they won a game. That's not going to happen. The point is that it's about taking steps, and I think it's a good performance, and that's all that we should read into it. It's a good performance. I'm not going to, basically why I'm people might say I'm bigging up Newcastle. I'm not. I predicted them to finish in the top 4, so this performance vindicates that, and I look at them as top 4 team now. I look at them as that way. So from that perspective, I go up, but I'm not going to suddenly start saying Newcastle are going to win the title. They're not. That's not going to happen. So anyway, my man of the match is Alexander Isak. I think there were a lot of good performances from Newcastle. I mean, Tonali was excellent. Barnes, when he came on, looked excellent. The Guimaraes was good as well. Trippier was very good as well. But yeah, it's got to be Isak. Got 2 goals, looked very lively throughout, and his 2 goals were what ultimately helped Newcastle get that win. 5-1 sounds good, but if Isak doesn't score that 3rd goal, which is really all about his persistence, maybe we don't get the result that we get. So anyway, congratulations to Newcastle. Well done. 3 points, top of the league. Commiserations to Aston Villa, but it's just the first game. Things can change very, very quickly. So let's see what happens. Share your thoughts, of course. Smash a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Smash a like for Newcastle. Do subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.